Okay, folks, today we're going to talk about the types of energy. There's energy everywhere, folks. You can't get away from it. Anywhere you go, there's energy. Now, here's the definition of energy. Energy is the ability to do work or make a change. Okay, so the energy is the ability to do work or make a change. And there are all different kinds of energy. Today we're going to talk about 6 different kinds of energy, but there's all kinds of energy. We're not going to talk about them all today, but we're going to talk about 6 different kinds of energy. We're going to talk about mechanical energy. Mechanical energy is when something's moving, like this guy, he's running right here. That's mechanical energy. Look at this water. That water is moving. That's mechanical energy. We're also going to talk about electrical energy. Electrical energy that runs a lot of your appliances at home, your computers and your radios. That's electrical energy. We're going to talk about light. Light energy. Look at the sun. The sun has a lot of light. It's also called radiant energy. We're also going to talk about thermal energy. Look at that fire. Thermal energy has to do with temperature and warmth. Uh, we're also going to talk about sound. Here's a boom box, a boom, boom, boom. Okay, you're hearing my voice right now. That's sound energy. And we're going to talk about chemical energy. You have to have food to survive. If you don't eat, you won't live. Look at that food right there. That keeps you alive. That's where you get energy. Look at this gasoline. If you want your car to go, you have to have gasoline. Both of these are chemical energy. Isn't that interesting that food and gasoline are both chemical energy? Now we'll talk more about that. Food for people, gasoline for cars. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, take a look at this right here and tell me what kind of energy is that? What kind of energy is that? And you can pause the video right now and answer that question. What kind of energy is that? And in everything we look at today, there's probably more than one type of energy, but there's always going to be the main energy, the main purpose. So you can give me a couple types of energy, but I want the main energy. This, folks, is electrical and light energy. It's mainly electrical energy. Electricity, it goes through wires, and we use electricity to make sound. We use electricity to run our computers. We use electricity for our lights, okay? But before it becomes those things, before it becomes sound, before it becomes light, it's in the wires as electricity. What kind of energy is this? What kind of energy is in this thing right here? And you know what? There's probably a few types, but there's the main purpose for this thing, this light bulb. What's the main purpose for the light bulb? And where does the light bulb get its energy? That's called its source energy, where it gets its energy. Okay? The main energy is light. That's what a light bulb's for, but it also has thermal and electrical energy. The electrical energy is the source energy. That's where the light bulb, the light gets its energy from electricity. Electricity is changed into light energy inside a light bulb, and we call that the transformation of energy. But the main energy is light. Okay, what kind of energy does this thing have? Let's assume that's some kind of firework or firecracker. All right, we got a lot of stuff going on here. The fuse is burning, and you know it's going to explode when it gets down here. So I want you to think about it, because there's a lot of things going on here. And tell me the types of energy that you think are involved with this firecracker or firework. Okay, first of all, we obviously have light energy. That fuse is burning, and there's a lot of light involved. And with fireworks or firecrackers, there's always some kind of light when that explosion happens. What's burning is actually chemical energy. That fuse and the gunpowder or whatever's in there, the chemicals that are in there, that is chemical energy. And when that explodes, that's going to be sound energy when this thing blows up. This fuse right here is very, very hot. That would really burn you. That's thermal energy. And believe it or not, when this thing blows up, it's going to go everywhere. It's going to be moving. All the pieces, I don't know if you know, on 4th of July, you see all these pieces of fireworks everywhere. Well, when this blows up, it's going to move everywhere. So it's also got some mechanical energy going. But I would say the main energy with a firecracker or fireworks, probably light, chemical energy because it's burning, sound, those things go boom, and they're very hot, thermal energy. Okay, what kind of energy do these things have? And I don't know if you know it, but these are windmills. The wind is blowing these things, and these big blades are turning. The blades are turning, and there's a generator right here. Generator is a thing that makes a type of energy we're going to talk about on the next slide. But I want you to think about it and tell me what kind of energies are involved here. Okay, so the first thing is we're going to talk about the wind blowing. We haven't talked about wind energy. Wind energy is one of the energies we're talking about today. But wind has energy, and it's blowing these these big blades of the windmills, and that these are turning. That the wind energy blowing these, that's movement. That's mechanical energy. Okay. Now the blades, these blades turn a generator. There's a generator there, and a generator makes electricity. But that generator turning is also mechanical energy. All right, and the generator, it makes electricity, and it's probably sending the electricity down a wire and to homes, and that electricity is used for lighting and computers and all kinds of things. So you've got wind energy blowing the blades. That's mechanical energy because it's movement. You've got the generator, which is turning. That's mechanical energy, and the generator makes electricity. Okay, so you've got mechanical energy and electrical energy there. Wow, check this out, okay? What do we have going on here? What kinds of energy do we have? All right, I want you to think about it, okay, because we got a bunch of stuff going on here. And I'm not going to say anything. I just want you to look at this picture and think about the different kinds of energies going on here, okay? Some of them you can see, some of them you can't. Okay, first of all, this baby is moving. That car is moving at a high speed. All right, that's mechanical energy, folks. It's moving. If it's moving, it's mechanical energy. All right, it's loud. You know that thing is loud, and that's sound energy. All right, it is burning fuel. It's burning a lot of fuel. So that fuel, that gasoline, is chemical energy. Okay, now there are other types of energy. What other types of energy do you see here? I want you to pause the video right now and think of some other types of energy that are happening here. Okay, so look at these sparks right here. What kind of energy is that? Well, that's light. That is light energy. You know it's hot too. It's probably thermal energy. You know the engine underneath the hood of this car, or maybe the engine's in the back, I don't know. Uh, that engine's very hot too, so that's thermal energy. All right, so even though the main energies are mechanical, sound, chemical, I would also maybe say thermal because the engine, we got a lot of heat here. Those are the main energies in this picture. Folks, this is our sun. This is where we get our energy. And look at that picture. That's taken with a special camera. Never look at the sun. You know that. I don't have to tell you that. But look at that and tell me the main type of energy or energies that you think are involved with the sun. Now, the sun is burning gas. Okay, the sun's not solid. It's burning gas. So keep that in mind when you're making your decision. Okay, the sun obviously has light. The sun gives us light. You wake up in the morning, you see the sunlight. At night, it's dark without the sun. The sun gives us light. The sun is hot. You ever been sunbathing? Get a sunburn? That's hot. Sun's very hot. The burning gases on the sun are chemical energy. That's chemical energy. The gases that burn on the sun is chemical energy. And it's obvious that stuff is moving on the sun, so you also have some mechanical energy. But the main energy of the sun is light, thermal energy, and chemical energy. Wow. What kind of energy is going on here? Take a look at that. First of all, I want you to look at this lake behind the dam. This is called a dam. And look how still that water is, how calm it is. And if you remember from potential and kinetic energy, there's a lot of potential energy here. It's the water's not moving back here. It's real still, but there's a lot of potential energy. And then look, remember when we talked about potential energy and kinetic energy, we talked about mass and speed. Well, look how massive that water is. And it's the gravity, it's falling, rushing over that dam. A lot of mass, a lot of speed there. Okay. So think of what kind of energy is involved here. What's going on with that water? Okay, that water's moving at a fast speed. That should give you a big hint there. Okay, the water is moving. We already talked about that. That water is moving very, very fast. Uh, it's dropping, and that is mechanical energy. Okay, it's also kinetic energy. You can call it mechanical or kinetic, but if it's moving, it is mechanical energy. All right, and there's a lot of it. Remember with kinetic energy is the force. You know, how much kinetic energy does something have? Well, that has to do with mass and speed, and there's a lot of mass and a lot of speed here, so there's a lot of kinetic energy. But today we're talking about mechanical energy, which is movement, and there's a lot of movement there, okay? Also, I want you to think about this. There's another type of energy that's really prominent here, and I want you to pause the video and think about it. Did you get it? Sound energy, folks. That has got to be loud. If you were standing right here, it'd be quite loud. So a lot of mechanical energy, a lot of sound energy. Okay, we've already talked about gasoline. It runs the car. Car can't move without gasoline. It's got a lot, I'm going to give you a hint here. It's got a lot of energy stored up in it. Okay, it's got a lot of potential energy in there. Uh, it's fuel. Gasoline, folks, is chemical energy. Yep, if you guessed chemical energy, you're right. It's got a lot of gasoline. It says it right here. Gasoline has a lot of stored potential energy. It's food is also chemical energy. It's got a lot of stored energy in it. You put gasoline in a car, the car burns the gasoline, turns it into heat, and it turns it into mechanical energy. You move down the road. You're changing this gasoline. This gasoline, once it burns, it's no longer gasoline. It becomes heat. It changes from gasoline to heat and mechanical energy. Boom, 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 boom. Now, you're looking at this and you're saying, I know what kind of energy this is. That's easy, okay? And you're right. But there's also other energies going on here. So I know you've already guessed probably the main energy, but I also want you to think of what the source energy is. Where is this getting its energy? And could there be any other types of energy there? Okay, you probably guessed it. The main energy of this thing is sound energy. Okay, the main energy is sound, but it also has light. You can see the lights here. So, yeah, it's got little buttons that light up, I guess, or something. And its energy source. That means where does it get its energy? Sound energy, it didn't used to. It wasn't sound energy before it came out of the speakers. What was it before it got to the speakers? Well, before it got to the speakers, folks, it was electrical energy. It got to the speakers, and the speakers took electricity and transformed it into sound. So before it was sound, it was electrical energy. Now, there's another type. I want you to pause it. And there's one we haven't said, and I want to see if anybody can get it. It's mechanical energy. You got this knob right here that you can turn, and you got like switches and dials. I guess they don't move on their own. Maybe you could say the vibration of the speakers is movement, is moving. So you could also say mechanical energy, but really the main energy is sound, and the source energy is electrical. Now this says here, what kind of energy is a battery? Batteries have a lot of stored potential energy. Think of other items that have energy stored in them, potential energy. Now, I'll tell you right away, and this is a mistake a lot of people make. Batteries are not electrical energy. I'm going to say that again. Batteries are not electrical energy. Everybody thinks they are. When the energy comes out of the battery and it makes a circuit, maybe you got a light bulb or something, okay, that's electrical energy when it comes out of the battery, but the battery itself is not electrical energy. So think about what kind of energy you think the battery is. If you guessed chemical energy, you are correct. Batteries are chemical energy. There are chemicals inside batteries, and this is stored energy. It's potential energy, and that is chemical energy. Batteries are chemical energy. Now, when that energy comes out of the battery, you're right. It's electrical energy. That boom box we were looking at, that could be run with batteries. But as soon as the energy comes out of the battery, it's electrical. But it is chemical energy while it is in the battery. What kinds of energy does this fire have? Look at that fire, nice and warm. The wood is burning. What kind of energy does the wood have? A lot of energy stored in wood. I'm giving you hints here. Okay, think about it and pause the video. The fire's main energies, if you probably guessed it right, are light and thermal. Okay, look at that fire. It's very bright and beautiful. And it's got thermal energy. It's warm. And the wood is actually chemical energy. If you have a piece of wood, it's got energy stored in it. It's got potential energy. And then when you burn it, that energy is released. It's changed into fire. Have you noticed how much energy changes? You know, you have chemical energy and then you burn this chemical or you burn the chemical energy, you burn the wood and it turns into fire. Or you have gasoline, you burn gasoline and it turns into mechanical energy or thermal energy. Or you eat a good breakfast, or you have a cup of coffee, which is chemical energy, and now it's turned into sound energy. Oh, Mr. Aston is just talking away. Well, that used to be chemical energy, it used to be a cup of coffee, and now it's sound energy in the form of my voice. So I want you to be aware that energy is always changing. Okay, by now I think you'll be able to get this one. Food, folks. This is food. There's a lot of energy stored in this food. It says, what kind of energy does this yummy food have? All right, what's going to happen to that food? All right, it's not going to stay the type of energy it is, but what type of energy do you think this food is? I know you guessed it right. Food is chemical energy. It's like our gasoline. We need food, chemical energy for us to run, for us to move, just like the car needs gasoline. So food is chemical energy. It has stored potential energy that your body can use. Your body uses it to study and read and play video games and all that kind of good stuff. So food is chemical energy. Is this getting too easy? This guy's running. What kind of energies do you see? Probably guessed it right. This guy's running, he's moving. That is mechanical energy. Do you think he's sweating? Is he warm? Well, come on, tell me what it is. That's thermal energy. So you got mechanical energy and thermal energy here. Okay, let's review really quick. Can you name the 6 types of energy? And the first one I want you to name is the one where the key word is movement. What would that be? And you already know it. That is mechanical or kinetic energy. That's movement. Now, what is the energy that moves through wires, that powers appliances and computers? That is electrical energy. And what's the energy that allows us to see? It comes from the sun. That is light or radiant energy. What's the energy that involves temperature or warmth or heat? That is thermal energy. And what's the energy that is coming out of my mouth and into your ear right now? That is sound energy. And what is the energy that fuel is, that burning, that wood is, or food or gasoline that has stored potential energy? That is chemical energy. Now, here's the way I remember this, and you don't have to remember it this way, but if you look, this is MELTS. And you know what that spells? That spells melts. MELTS, melts. And then what do we do with this C here? Okay, well, here's what I do. I say melts chocolate, and I know chocolate stands for chemical, because chocolate is chemical energy. Uh, so that's how I remember all these. I say melts chocolate, and I know M is for mechanical, E is for electrical, L is for light, T is for thermal, S is for sound, and chocolate is for chemical. Okay, can energy transform or change from one type of energy to another? Can energy change? Like if something is chemical energy, can it become another kind of energy? If something is electrical energy, can it become sound energy? Answer is yes, of course. And we're going to get more into that, and we're actually going to do some stuff where we actually watch energy changing. That's all, folks.